Hi, good morning. This is going to be a channeled message, so if you're interested in that or you feel like you're drawn here, congratulations. Let's dive in. So I was up a little bit earlier than I normally am today, and I just got this message coming through like really, really clear, which is that there's this group of you, or this may be for one or two people, I'm not sure. Whoever it finds, but this sense of needing to rest at a very deep level. So the sense of needing to rest like your nervous system. Like I keep getting this feeling of like these like body aches almost. So if you guys are experiencing body aches and you're not just like sick, like literally sick, but you're like I feel sick, this is definitely your body trying to tell you that something is wrong. And granted, that doesn't mean that, there's like an easy solution to that. Like some of us are in predicaments, situations, circumstances, whatever, where like we really can't do anything. We're kind of stuck somewhere. And that's what I kept feeling of like, I can't. And it's almost like being forced to run a marathon when you feel like your legs are just going to cave out beneath you. But there is a sense of needing to rest your nervous system, like needing to rest on a soul level. Like I'm literally hearing, which is strange, but like if you resonate, you resonate. I'm literally hearing like my bones are tired. Oh man, and I feel that. I understand that feeling. A lot of you too that I'm picking up on like your love language is physical touch. It doesn't have to be, but I'm picking that up for some people too. Like your love language is physical touch. So there's that sense of wanting to like physically be held by another person, because it's not enough for someone to be like, don't worry, I got it, but to have that be expressed on more of like a physical level where someone else can hold you, because I feel like you need to mimic that feeling of safety. And I feel like for a lot of you guys, you have not felt safe since childhood. And even that would be pushing it. There really is this need for safety, emotional safety, no less. And I do feel like for some of you specifically, your mother figures, or your actual mother may have dropped the ball when you were young, when you were a kid, and you're really like, kind of feeling the effects of that, because it's almost like I grew up having to take care of other people, or I grew up being a parentified child. If you don't know what that is, please look into it. But for those of you who understand, I feel you. Or like I had to grow up being like therapist or emotional support for adults. Like for adults when I was a child. So all of your energy, your entire life has gone towards that when it should have gone towards you being a child. So this is really like trauma based that I'm picking up on. And a lot of your energy being like that as an adult too, in your adult relationships, like being put into your romantic relationships or being put into friendships where you are taking care of other people, you are emotional support for other people, and you are desperately in need of like emotional support now, but this like nervous system regulation, because it's like you're burnt out on this deep level. It almost feels like down to, again, like your bones are tired, down to this like microscopic level where it's like people may not see that, obviously, right? Like it's not obvious, it's not conspicuous, it's just like right down to the bones, where you could be operating just fine and it seems like you're doing well being subjective, but I feel like you have this internal monologue of like, and social media could be influencing this, but like, why can't I do XYZ like everybody else? Like I feel like what you have in mind is this idea of what a normal life should look like, an idea of what being normal looks like. And it could be a sense of like, cooking X amount of times per day, but for instance, you don't have any energy to do that, because all of your energy is going to surviving. literally on like an emotional, spiritual level, like surviving. Or maybe you're like, I have to do dishes and laundry, but for whatever reason I just like can't do them, and it's like everyone else is doing them, and then they're doing other things, so they're multitasking and they're getting these things done, and it's just like a task that they're doing while they're waiting for something else, and it's just like easy peasy, fucking lemon squeezy. But it's not the same, because for you, you're not starting at the start line. You are starting a mile back, and everyone else is starting at that start line. And granted, although we don't know other people's circumstances and we will never know the full story, especially as far as, like social media is concerned, but I feel like I need to tell you guys that you're doing better than you think that you're doing. You're doing way better than you believe that you are. I'm telling you. And you have to, base this off of what your life has been like and what your experiences have been like, because I always come back to this, and I think of this every single time that this comes up in my collective, because I get a lot of like, I don't feel good enough in some way, shape, or form in my collective. I always come back to this quote, which is, if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it'll spend its whole life thinking that it's stupid. That's this scenario. You cannot look at other people whose circumstances may be wildly, astronomically different from yours and judge on the same basis and pass judgment in the same way, right? We shouldn't be passing judgment realistically. Anyway, that's besides the point. But it's like, you don't have the energy to... You don't have the energy to do what you believe are these simple tasks, because all of your energy is going to regulating, to trying to just survive, whether that's financially, emotionally, mentally, what have you. So while other people are doing these things because it's a part of their day-to-day, like your day-to-day might be not getting overstimulated. Your day-to-day might be remembering to drink enough water. Your day-to-day might be remembering to just eat a meal, which if you ate today, if you drank water today, I love you and proud of you. But you guys are coming from a place where, and a lot of you, like, your basic needs were made to be like, your basic needs were made out to be like bigger than they should have been, if that makes sense. So it's almost like there was no extra room for the little things, for hobbies, for passions, for anything like that. It almost feels like survival mode was primarily like your childhood. So now you're feeling the effects of that into adulthood and going back to those body aches, those pains. You guys might be feeling that, like your body aches, and it's because your body really does keep the score. Like, you are holding these things in your body, they need to come out. And again, not all of us are able to do something. I highly recommend energy healing. If you want to book a session with me, you can go ahead and find me on Instagram. I do Reiki, which is energy healing. I do integrated energy therapy, which is better usually for clients who have trauma or who have a lot of stored up traumatic just energy in the body. But regardless, sometimes that's what you need, sometimes it's other things, sometimes it's just acknowledgement, sometimes it's, which is really corny, like giving yourself a hug, for instance, but I just keep getting this feeling like you guys need to rest on a soul level. All of your energy is going towards surviving, and I think you need to give yourself more credit, because you're doing better than you think that you are. And you cannot compare yourself to people anywhere, real life, the internet, whatever, where you don't know the rest of the story. Because what you're doing and how you're surviving under your circumstances, and based off of what you've been through your whole life, you are doing pretty fucking amazing. You're still beating the odds, and you deserve far more credit. A couple things I will just say before I go, which I will put up on the screen somewhere, but remembering something about pink flowers, rainbows, and the number 1122. I love you so much.